Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, sitting with you on a Saturday morning with my web thwips there. Hey Tad, hey Phil, how's it going?
Oh, it's going.
Good, good.
Yeah.
One of these, do you think we'll ever get sick of the web thwips?
I mean, I'm not sick of the web flips. I worry that you might be a little sick of the web flips.
I worry that the audience is like, yeah, 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 very funny. Across the interwebs, Spider-Man, we get it. Um, and I
It
stole that interwebs thing. I stole that from Adam Carolla.
what?
Yeah, he used to have well, he still does, but I used to listen to his podcast way back in the day, and he referred to the internet all the time as the interwebs.
Before he
hmm
became a
And
hmm
nut job.
yes, yep, yep.
Do you think him and Jimmy Kimmel still hang out?
They do, except I saw an interview with Adam recently
I,
where he talked
I
about
doubt
him
it.
and
Or do they?
well, according to Adam, he said they do that well Adam doesn't support Trump. He is very, very conservative in what he thinks,
Yikes.
is what he says. But obviously Jimmy is completely different.
Yeah. Drew seems to have gone off the deep end too.
Yeah, Drew Pinsky is crazy,
So
but
I don't know who that is.
oh,
yeah,
he
no,
was with Adam
it
Carolla
saddens me
on
because he was
Loveline
such
with
a
Dr. Drew.
yeah. He was such
Yeah, that show,
a essential part of my childhood, and then he went
same,
nuts.
Damn.
same. There's a show, early 2000s, late 90s called Loveline, and him and Adam Carolla would answer calls. Adam was the comedy, and Drew was the actual doctor about sex advice.
Mm.
Um,
I remember
it,
hearing about that show.
and it was really
Addiction medicine
entertaining.
specialist. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. And so, yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was entertaining. But this is before you knew both of them were weirdos.
Hmm.
And then, of course, Adam and Jimmy Kimmel were on the Man Show before that.
Talk about your episodes of TV that haven't aged
No,
very well.
after that.
What's that?
I said talk about your episodes of TV that haven't aged very well. And
Oh, I know.
Tad had
Oh, I
said
know.
after Loveline was the man show.
Yes. Yeah, Loveline, then the Man Show. And
Yeah,
then
at
during
least after it
Loveline, that's when,
began. Yeah.
and then while Loveline was on, Jimmy Kimmel was on Win Ben Stein's Money.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I watched that.
that was a good show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jimmy was like so young in that as a host.
Right, he hosted. Holy cow! I thought for a second he was a contestant, but no, he was hosting.
No, he was the host, and then Ben Stein played the
No,
contestant. He
because
played
Ben
against
was
the
the
contestant.
contestants.
Yeah,
hmm
yep, yep, yep.
Right.
It was interesting.
Absolutely.
But anyway, let's I digress. Let's move on to the
Former Nixon
onto the
aide.
show. What'd you say?
Ben Stein's a former Nixon aide?
I said former
Really?
former Nixon aide, Ben Stein. Yeah. Yeah. Worked in the
Wow.
Nixon White House.
Didn't know
Interesting.
that.
As an
I mean,
economist or what? Or what
I
was
think
his
so.
role? Yeah.
at a certain
Uh
point, working for
One
Nixon
of
is
the
working for
advisors.
Nixon.
oh man. We
I
can get off
mean,
on a
like,
total tangent here.
I'll make a comment on that when we get to what kind of week has it been? Because I
Okay.
don't think that we've talked much about Jack Smith making the rounds. But news and note this week. Technically, I guess this first item is a San Diego Comic-Con item as well, but I heard about it first when Jason Aaron sent out his newsletter. Uh, Indiana Jones is returning to Marvel, and Jason Aaron will be penning it. So he's gotten
That's
to kick off both the Marvel Star Wars and the Marvel or the revived Marvel Star Wars and revived Marvel Indiana Jones
And Conan.
properties. Um,
Ann Conan.
I don't know as much about that, and I forgot it.
Yeah, me neither, but it's there.
Um, and that's not Lucasfilm. That's not
That's fair.
Lucasfilm. That's
That's fair.
like you're muddying the waters, Phil.
It's a non-superhero
He
return to
also wrote
comics.
Thor.
Yeah, I guess Thor is on license from, Odin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, other San Diego Comic-Con news. Uh, Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez will reteam for an upcoming Shadow of the Bat series, ongoing series at DC, ending their drought of series with black main characters. Stephanie Williams and Kari Randolph have Vixen, and Static will be um, Cody Ziegler and Diego Olategui.
Nice.
Olortegui. Frank Miller's back at Dark Horse with Invasive Species, which he's writing in somebody else's drawing. And Dark Horse will also be publishing Barbie comics. What kind of week has it been? The big story this week is that the Pentagon removed 4 people from the KIA list for reasons. And initially, they said it was because, we were in a ceasefire, so those 4 don't count. And then they said it was some sort of information cycling error, blah blah blah. Also, the 4 involved a woman and a couple people of color. So,
Jeez.
goes
Holy shit.
goes so along with this Pentagon. Let's ignore the actual soldiers and the cost of the war. Likewise, Trump seemed to imply that the dead soldiers coming back to Andrews had told him that it was very important that Iran not get a nuclear weapon.
So
Which
so
I don't even know what to do with that.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
did he have a seance? He did he just
It
happen to
was a
call the 4
it
low-level
was a tarot
soldiers that would wind up dying? And
it was a tarot reading. Come on. Come on.
Oh, he's just making stuff
he
up
was
unless
using
the
his
Ouija came
Ouija
out.
board.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
His
goodness.
his
It,
dowsing no, that's
you
not the right
know,
word.
I mean,
His
yeah.
he's rolling the bones.
There you go.
The chicken bones on his kitchen
Oh.
table.
If there was ever someone whose brain very
Um,
clearly was a dowsing rod, it'd be him.
but quickly jumping back to your statement about Ben Stein and working for um,
Nixon.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Jack Smith has been making the rounds, and one of the things that he's been um, really kind of hitting hard on is that, like, particularly anybody that's not strictly a political hire, and I think Ben Stein was, but that doesn't always make them, I've never heard anything that indicates that he was one of the ones that was involved directly with Nixon and certainly in any tomfoolery. Um, but like particularly non-political hires, it's actually really, really important that you stick around as long as possible. Um, like if you're given an order that's illegal, then yes, you need to resign rather than do it. But as long as you're still doing things that are within the legal purview of your job, um, A, being part of the balancing factor right now is important. B, like there's going to come a day that Trump isn't in office, and the less people we have to hire, then the better.
Yeah.
You know, we're already going to have to hire a ridiculous number of people. I mean, it's the thing that I felt like was overlooked the most when people were grading Biden is that
Mm.
like he came into office with all of the agencies completely gutted.
Yeah.
You know, the State Department got cut by 2/3 during Trump's first administration. And no, can you imagine the job the next education secretary has in front of them?
It's going to be impossible.
You know, I mean, it's 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 one thing to like write laws and allocate money and whatnot, but you still need to have people to do the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Like
and if
government
they're
doesn't just
not
happen.
there, you know, right. So like just having worked for a bad president shouldn't be. I mean, this kind of goes back to the Tom King argument, and
Hmm.
I heard a similar one when Smith was on uh John Stewart's weekly show with Brian Driscoll, who was briefly the acting head of the FBI, actually because of a paperwork error that the
Right.
Trump made.
I
Trump
remember hearing about that guy.
after
Yep.
they fired Christopher Wray.
The
Right.
Driz.
Right. But one of the things that he talked about a lot was like when I got into the FBI, yeah, I know their history, but like they're not going away and we need an investigative organization. So like that means that you want people who are ethical, who do want to fulfill the higher purpose to take these jobs because otherwise you only have the horrible people. You know, if you don't have some forces within working hard to make things better. Now, like how much you agree with that, like um on a personal level can go, you know, that's a open question. But I think it's dangerous, particularly with government organizations, to start thinking that anybody who joins them. Now, the possible exception to that is anybody that's joined ICE or Border Patrol in like the last
20 years.
9 months to a year. Again, like, yes, we know now that it's been rotten from the inside for a long, long time.
Hmm.
That wasn't common knowledge even 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a specific purpose that it's supposed to serve.
Right.
Wanting to serve that purpose isn't inherently bad.
Yeah.
Right. Again,
It's
since Los Angeles, really, and certainly since Minneapolis, if you're signing up now, that's a whole different thing.
hmm
And to a certain extent, if you're actually managing to get the job in the Trump administration, that's a whole different thing. Right.
Yeah. I'd be curious.
Because they've instituted a level of like loyalty above all else that we certainly haven't seen in government in a long, long time.
Yeah.
But may not have seen ever. Yeah.
Not in the
Uh,
United States,
but yeah,
I don't think,
like,
but
yeah.
it's tough. I mean,
Um,
like obviously we've seen this in other countries that we've fought with. I mean, World War II, you can look at what
yeah,
Hitler
yeah, yeah.
wanted from his
Right.
subjects, as I call them.
Hmm.
I mean, same thing with Mussolini or Stalin. I mean, they all ruled with this: you will obey me, or this is. I mean, this is this way or the highway. And that's what
Right.
Trump wants so badly, but he doesn't have the clout to do it, right? I mean, he does, but he doesn't. And that's why we end up with this hillbilly band of MAGA morons, right?
I mean, this is where I remind people that, like, when we think of Hitler and Stalin, we think of Hitler and Stalin 10 years in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about early, like
No,
post
no,
World
but
War
but
One. Yeah.
but I mean, in terms of them having that complete and total iron fist, we're thinking of them 5 to 10 years in.
Okay.
So is he there yet? No, I'm not 100% certain that he's not on the trajectory, which is why I'm so happy that he's so much older than them.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, if you're gonna start this kind of like revolution and move us into a dictatorship, wouldn't you want to be a younger man? Why would you like push for this so hard in your 80s?
No. I mean, so this is where I get back to just trying to make sense of Trump is always dangerous because there's no sense to be found. But like,
Well, sure there is.
eh,
Money for me and
Yeah,
my kids.
sure. Um, but I guess
sure.
I
I
mean
like that.
like,
Sure.
yeah, I guess what I mean is like that. Why are you pushing for this in your old age? He doesn't think he's gonna die. Like he
Well,
cannot
I
he
mean, there's
cannot
that
fathom his
too.
own death. Like that's exactly what's going on. And so that's why he's flailing wildly for any sense of thrill, power, and feeling alive, you know?
Well, except on alternate Tuesdays where he's worried about getting into heaven.
Sure, sure. Yeah, those brief moments where the dementia is striking him to his core, you know. Um,
I mean, is the dementia striking to his core, or are those his brief moments of lucidity?
I
it's hard to
agree.
tell.
I,
Hard to
I
tell.
I don't I don't like the idea of blaming any of his actions
Oh, not blaming.
on his decline of mental health.
No, he's always
Oh,
Um,
been like this.
I'll blame a lot of the actions on the decline in mental health, but I think when he's worried about getting into heaven, he's having brief moments of lucidity.
Hmm. I
oh
can see
yeah,
that.
that part. Yeah,
I can
yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah. He's like going, oh shoot,
If anything, they might be
Jesus isn't gonna like this at all.
the
Right.
first moments of lucidity he's ever had.
All right, gang. Let's get
Goodness.
to new to order this month. I want to tell you guys
Yeah, we
about
got
Canto.
brand new to order for August 27th. New catalog.
Yeah, one of the
Though I will
books
I
that
will quickly toss out, this does not include DC titles yet. DC is holding their solicits until like 4 o'clock this afternoon. So they would be ready for our Sunday release, but they're not ready for our Saturday morning recording. So we won't have any
oh,
DC titles until next week.
okay. Well, first up, I want to talk about Canto. This is the Clockwork Chronicles #1 from David Boer and Drew Zucker from Dark Horse. The small knight with a big heart travels the unnamed world to help those in need. That mission takes him to the mysterious Forgotten Isles where jungle fauna mixes with strange machines. The mystery of what happened to the forgotten people who once lived there is put on hold when catastrophe befalls his best friend, Miko the Melarix. Will Kanto's courage be enough to save his companion? Uh, we have final order cutoff of September 14th, and excuse me, October 12th. I read the line above it. Final order cutoff is October
Mhm.
12th, and in stores November 18th.
All right. The Detective #1 from David and Maria Lapham at Bad Idea. It's a cold morning in the city when Valencia Velez wakes up in an unfamiliar bed with a revolver in her hand and a dead body at her side. She doesn't remember how she got there. She doesn't remember much of anything. Just the long list of names buzzing around her head, suspects in the brutal gangland execution of her husband. Lucky for her, Val's a homicide detective. The only trouble? In the city, so is everyone else. Val's hunt for answers has painted a target on her back, caught between the crooked cops hot on her trail and the towering mechanical judges looming over the city's rain-soaked streets. Every lead Val runs down only raises more questions. What secrets lie hidden in Val's missing memories? Who is the mastermind? In the city, the truth doesn't come easy, and when it does, you'll wish it hadn't. Final order cutoff of September 21st, in stores October 21st.
All right. Filthy Lambs, number one, from Polly Paul Allor and Chris Evanwys at Mad Cave. In the basement of Grimaldi Manor, the family patriarch says a prayer and stabs himself in the throat. Blood falls. The demon watches. A woman tries to scream. Upstairs, three generations of the Grimaldi family and a snapping turtle fill the house with unfulfilled promise and joyful childhood shrieks. These are tremendous, terrible times for the lineage. The Grimaldis hold a contract with their lord below for 10 more years of prodigious wealth and glory. But old contracts can sour, monsters can misbehave, and a filthy little lamb can still have teeth. It's going to have a final order cutoff of September 28th, in stores October 21st.
Mad Science Division number one from Dan Waters and Brian Lovell at Ignition. It's no secret Archimedes Anderson is an EPO hire, assigned chief coordinator of R&D at the American arm of genetic engineering and bioweapons development company Miyashi Smith. Everyone knows he's here for one purpose, to slash the budget and trim the fat. If he can cut 30% from the unaffectionately named Mad Science Division budget, he'll earn a cushy, high-level job at HQ. He goes in with a move fast and break stuff attitude, knowing that absolutely nothing about the dangerous genetic experiments taking place in the division. When he upsets the delicate equilibrium of department factions and removes guardrails which protect the workers and the public, he winds up exposing them to terrible, evil experiments. This is final order cutoff of September 28th, in stores on November 4th.
All right, Satanic Panic. Hey guys, Tad, especially, did your mom or dad get crazy about Satanic Panic crap in the 80s?
Nope, or
My
at least not
mom
that I
did.
remember.
My mom did. She believed Donahue like he was God. Anyway, Satanic Panic from Matt Miller and Clay McCormick from Mad Cave. A sleepy 1980s town is stalked by a masked slasher at the height of the Satanic Panic, where every heavy metal record, Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and Teenage Outsider is treated as evidence of devil worship. As fear spreads and bodies pile up, three local misfits become the prime suspect in a series of gruesome murders. Join D&D geeks and Ozzy enthusiasts Nas, Sal, and Terry as they race to clear their names, survive an increasingly blood-soaked town, and unmask the real killer before paranoia claims innocent lives. But in a community eager to blame the weird kids, proving their innocence may be deadlier than facing the murderer. This is going to have a final order cutoff of October 5th and be in shops October 28th, just in time for Halloween. Yeah, the Satanic Panic was crazy. When I was a kid, my cousin kept giving me cassette tapes of bands he was into, and holy crap, my mom went just ape shit crazy about um Ozzy, Motley Crue. I mean, anyone and everyone corrupting us with their satanic music. Supposedly, records, you guys, they put hidden messages if you played them backwards. However, my mom thought that could easily transfer to cassette tape. And I said, Mom, I have no way to play this backwards. So
That's funny. So the last I must have had some of the last surviving bits of Satanic Panic. I was getting into heavy metal in the early 2000s when I was a teenager, and
Yep.
my parents were actually pretty cool about it. They got me a fair amount of music and all kinds of different stuff. The one exception was Slayer, Rain and Blood. I used to listen
Yep.
to music as I fell asleep, and my parents were like, "Don't listen to this while you sleep." And I'm like,
No.
"Okay, I'll lay off the Slayer Dreamland,
Slayer for going to sleep. My
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, I do sleep to Mastodon. I put on some
I
of
do
their
too.
albums.
I will listen to Leviathan when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
That record is so
Blood
tight.
Mountain.
Yep.
Crack the Sky is my favorite one to sleep
Crack
to.
the
That was
Sky is
really
so
good.
good. The
Hmm.
harmonies in that song specifically, Crack the Sky.
Yes. Oh,
Oh my God.
so good.
Anyway, Phil. So
Yeah.
originally it was Ozzy that my mom was afraid of.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
then in the early 90s, Marilyn Manson came on
Hmm.
Donahue with his band, the Spooky Kids. This is before he
Oh,
was
wow.
anything. Scared the crap out of her. She was just convinced that this. So then when he started
And
becoming
rightfully so.
popular, and then when he started becoming popular and I was wearing his t-shirts, oh my God.
Oh, man,
Uh,
that is funny.
anyway. All right.
All right.
Uh,
Next up is The Toxic Avenger versus The Noxious Offender. Number one from Matt Bors and Felipe Sobrero at Ahoy. An evil duplicate of the Toxic Avenger appears in our dimension, which is bad. And Toxie's estranged father shows up, which might be worse. That's got a final order cutoff of September 7th, in stores October 7th.
awesome. Circus of Bones from Mike Mignola from Image. Um, this, I don't know why I have the number
Graphic
27.
novels.
Oh, okay. We're in graphic novels there. Thanks, Tad. I missed that. I just kind of jumped down to where I was at. Uh, this is the official hardcover catalog of the upcoming Mike Mignola Gallery show at the Philippe Lebon Gallery in New York City. This beautifully designed book features 53 brand new watercolor paintings created by Mignola, especially for the exclusive event. Additionally, there will be more than 80 other originals presented in this volume, including a selection of 29 new pencil drawings, as well as several new ink illustrations. The catalog is rounded out by more than 40 published covers and pages. Each image is scanned from the original art. It's a glorious collection of art for Mike Mignola fans everywhere. Final order cutoff of June 22nd and will be in shops November 4th.
All right. Next up is Fire from Hideko Mizuno over at Uncivilized. Fire follows the meteoric rise and fall of Aaron Browning, a troubled and poor Ohio teenager. In juvenile detention, Aaron meets the magnetic delinquent Firewolf, a motorcycle riding rebel with an extraordinary musical talent. Their intense bond awakens a fiery passion for music in Aaron, and he moves to Detroit's gritty factories and underground scene, where he forms the band Fire to channel his emotions, rebellion, and raw energy. As fame explodes, he plunges into the era's excess, sex, drugs, rock and roll, Vietnam era shadows, embodying the intoxicating yet destructive pursuit of freedom. Fire immerses the reader in the turbulent late 1960s, a fascinating peek at the vibrant American rock music scene of the time. With a final order cutoff of September 28th, in stores October 28th as well. This one, there was extra solicit text about how this is actually a shoujo manga series that is classic and historical and kind of a missing link to a lot of the inspirations behind some of those. So this is an extra special book, is what I'm trying to say.
All right. Hansel and Gretel, which apparently came out of bookstores, I think, last year, but it's
Hmm.
coming to comic shops now, by
Oh,
Stephen King and
Oh,
Maurice
oh,
Sendak from HarperCollins. The haunting tale of two brave children lost in a dark and dangerous forest is reimagined by literary legends Stephen King and Maurice Sendak. Guide you into the most deliciously daring rendition of the classic grim fairy tale yet. But will you find your way back out? With personal introduction from Stephen King, the beautiful book has been created in close collaboration with the Maurice Sendak Foundation. So yeah, this looks pretty cool.
awesome. All right.
is final order cutoff September 7th, in stores October
Oh,
7th.
yep, sorry.
That's okay. Next up, I Can't Stop Thinking About Horses and Sex by Lisa Hannawalt from Drawn and Quarterly. From the creative mind behind BoJack Horseman and Toucan Birdie comes a fragmented memoir, poignant, punchy, and sometimes just plain gross. A deliciously candid and juicy exploration of platonic and romantic fixations, heartbreak, and the allure of horses. I Can't Stop Thinking About Horses and Sex marks the long-awaited return of uh, Toucan Birdie, BoJack Horseman. Okay, it's a little repetitive. Designer Lisa Hanwalt to comics. In this honest, silly, horny, and vulnerable memoir of a horse girl now in her 40s and reflecting back on a lifetime of obsessions. Whether Hanwalt is confronting large life issues like whether or not to have kids, being an anxious little freak, caring for a sick horse, revisiting childhood trauma, or dealing with a major breakup and the ensuing lustfulness, she delivers a reading experience that's relatable, affirming, and almost always hilarious. In lush colors and kinetic lines, she charts the strange terrain of life, one bumpy, dusty horseback ride at a time. It's going to have a final order cutoff of September 21st, in stores October 20th.
How did you get the I Can't Stop Thinking About Horses and Sex book? I missed that one.
Just
Oh,
have an
was
eye
gonna
for it,
do it.
apparently.
I was
Lucky.
going to do it next week, but you beat me to it.
I like Lisa Hannibal.
I do too. Requiem for Gaza from Chris Hedges and Joe Sacco at Fantagraphics. In the spring of 2025, the cartoonist Joe Sacco, author of Palestine and Footnotes in Gaza, and Chris Hedges, the former Middle East bureau chief for the New York Times, traveled to Cairo, where they interviewed 29 Palestinian families who had recently left Gaza. In Requiem for Gaza, they used the experience and stories of these families to detail the crucible of the genocide, the loss of homes and communities, the appalling death toll among friends and loved ones, the constant displacement, the terror of indiscriminate killing, the hunger and deprivation, the obliteration of all that was known and familiar, and the struggle to cope with the callous indifference of a world that continues to supply Israel with weapons despite its wholesale destruction of Gaza and mass slaughter. Collective power of the individual stories that chronicle the first day of the genocide, the forced evacuation of homes, the targeted assassinations, the false hopes engendered by ceasefires, the dislocation and alienation of exile, the brutal killing and hasty burial of family members, and the humiliation of living under tarps without clean food and water bring every aspect of the genocide to life. Set against the horror are stories of self-sacrifice and compassion that show how Palestinians not only clung to their humanity, but morally triumphed over their killers. Final order cutoff is September 7th, in stores on October 7th.
All right. Silent Jenny from Matthew Babbitt from Oni. In a not too distant future, climate change continues to ravage the planet, and the disappearance of insects has led to the end of pollination, rendering vast areas of land infertile. A survival dynamic has emerged. Mobile islands called monads have formed, and people strive to help each other, each group with its own customs, traditions, and ways of life. Jenny is a rather solitary researcher trying to restore the world as it once was. She seeks to recover bee DNA to clone and recreate pollinating insects. However, she will come to realize that this is impossible. The old world no longer exists, and a new one must be built. She must work collectively with other monad tribes, prioritizing mutual aid and collaboration. Final order cutoff will be September 21st, and this awesome book will be in shops October 13th. And I apologize to listeners if you can hear my pug. She is making all kinds of noise in my arms because she's very happy. So she's doing
We
her
can't hear.
pug noises.
On
Her
the wings
pug
of an
noises.
angel.
Yeah.
We
Anyway.
should be so blessed.
All right, collections.
All right.
Collections first up is In Your Skin from Aditya Bidikar and Sam at Image. Priyanka has been a Bollywood superfan of film star Aisha Sen since she was a kid. She's watched her movies over and over and knows her dances beat for beat. But after a once-in-a-lifetime chance meeting with her idol goes awry, and Aisha announces her impending retirement from movies, Priyanka's admiration turns to obsession. If Aisha doesn't want to live her perfect life, then Priyanka would be more than happy to take it for herself. It's going to have a final order cutoff of September 21st, in stores October 28th.
Cool. Muppets Noir. I've been reading this in issues. It's been really good. From Roger Landridge from Dynamite. It's time to cue the music. It's time to dim the
Time to
lights.
dim the lights. It's time to
It's
get
time
things
to get
started.
things started as the Muppets return
Muppets
tonight.
return tonight.
Okay, the show is about to begin at the famous Muppet Theater, and the regular pre-curtain chaos has the troupe's stalwart MC, Kermit the Frog, coming apart at the seams. In an attempt to de-stress, he settles down to read a few pages of an old favorite detective novel, only to get KO'd by an errant brick to the bean, leaving him laid out backstage as his co-stars try to coax him back to consciousness. But unbeknownst to them, Kermit has taken up the hard boiled mantle of his fictional hero to walk the darkened streets of Dreamland, righting wrongs and cracking cases under the concealing cover of night. Flip Minnow PI has no time for song and dance, not if he's going to solve the baffling mystery of the snoozing sleuth. This will have final order cutoff August 31st and will be in shops October 7th.
Palomar, the Heartbreak Soup Stories from Gilbert Hernandez at Fantagraphics. Palomar is the perfect entry into the works of critically acclaimed cartoonist Gilbert Hernandez and the still ongoing Love and Rockets comic book series. It stars the inhabitants of a small Latin American town, long-suffering midwife, sheriff, cello, Pipo, tomboy turned heartthrob, Carmen, wryer than her years, teen boys Heraclio, Satch, Augustine, Jesus, Israel, and Vicente, whose paths diverge and intersect over time, Diana and Tantazine, sisters in polar opposites, and many other finely drawn and dynamic characters whose already tempestuous lives are roiled when Luba, an assertive single mother, moves there to set up her bathing business. Final order cutoff is September 7th, in stores on October 7th. This is the reprinting of the long out of print, big ass hardcover that includes pretty much all of the Palomar stories from the first 50 issues of Love and Rockets. Great,
Wow.
great companion piece to Jaime's Locos that came out earlier this year. So, final order cutoff for August 3rd, a week from Monday. Anatomy of Comics from Damian McDonald at Rizzoli, out September 1st. Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy, #1 from Ram V and Mike Perkins at DC, out on August 26th. Denver, #1 from Jimmy Palmiotti, Justin Gray, and Pierre Brito from Mad Cave, out on August 26th. Fixation, #1 from Suspiria Vilches, Amy Chase and Savannah Meyer at IDW, out on September 9th. Folk of Dooney Hollow, #1 from Jeremy Hans and Alex Linz at Ignition, out on September 9th. Forever Home, #1 from Christian Ward and Sammy Cavella at Oni, out on September 9th. Forever from Brian Box Brown at IDW, out on September 8th. Hammerfist, #1 from Rick Remender, Steve Epting, Matt Hollingsworth at Image Comics, out on August 26th. John of the Night from Daryl Cunningham at Avery Hill. Final or cutoff is I forgot to delete that line. Out on September 2nd.
I didn't catch it. What did it say?
On their Frontlines Volume 1, Marina Lisa Comia at Fantagraphics, out on August 26th. The Outsider by Joseph D'Esposito at Fantagraphics, out on September 30th. And Six of Us, #1 from Tom King and Gabriel Hernandez Walta from Dark Horse Comics, out on September 9th. Phil, you want to talk some crowdfunding?
Yeah, first up there is The Monuments, Volume 2, Let His Death Be a Warning from Oliver Mertz on Kickstarter through July 29th. I Just Came from Hell, the sequel to Who Killed Sarah Shaw from Frankie White and Adam Markowitz on Kickstarter through August 3rd. Outlaw's Apprentice, Broken Blade by Chris Schweizer on Kickstarter through July 30th. Sink Your Teeth In #2 from Zoe Tunnel, Lauren Knight, JP Jordan, Jordy Troutman, and Michelle Abinader on Kickstarter through August 6th. And then coming soon, we have the Tezuka God of Manga documentary from Jason Cohn, hopefully launching soon on Kickstarter. And then also launching soon is the Death of Comics Bookcase, Reign of the Comics Bookcases from Zach Quaintance and various artists, also launching soon on Kickstarter. Tyler, what's on Humble Bundle lately?
Some pretty good stuff. The Clip Studio Creation Collection is up for paint, draw, and animate. For $25, you get 10 items, and that goes to Donors Choose, which is a public education charity, and it's extended to August 5th. Sure to get on that. The Blade Runner collection from Titan Alcon is $18, and you get 17 items. That goes to the Direct Relief Emergency Medical Charity. On July 30th is that cutoff. This one I'm very excited about. The Humanoids Mega Bundle from Universes Unbound Part 1. 35 titles. That's 151 volumes, including the Insel, Technopriest, Metal... Inkle. Yeah, that's right. We read that. The Inkle, Technopriest, Metal Hurlant, timely, Monsieur Jean, and more. $20 gets you 35 titles, and that is going towards Reading is Fundamental. Deadline for that is August 5th. Next up is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Return to New York, out from IDW. For $25, there are 48 items, which this is going towards Make-A-Wish, and this is going to August 12th. Last up is the Dark Horse 40th Anniversary Bundle. This one I am the most excited about. You get
It's a lot of good books.
Lot of good Dark Horse stuff. Holy crap, I looked at over 40 items, you guys, for $20. Yeah. $20.
I mean, the only downside is it's only volume 1s.
Yeah, but it gets you a good intro to those. I mean, if you've never really got into Dark Horse, this is your time.
And there's really good variety too. Absolutely.
Variety. Yeah, there's anything and everything on them. Anyway, that's going to the Hero Initiative and will be open until August 13th. All right. Ted, 3 amazing new books.
I'm going to lead off with our Godzilla versus America San Diego. Stan Sakai took some Godzilla to Comic-Con, and Greg and Fake did some Godzilla at Comic-Con. What's the other? I'm pulling it up because I want to make certain I A, give proper credit, and B, it's just beautiful. Stan Sakai, Greg and Fake. What was the third full story?
So this is where I was actually born in San Diego, and I've only been to Comic-Con once.
Bullshit.
Back when you could still buy tickets from scalpers. I had a broken foot, and my uncle bought some scalper tickets, and we limped around the stage floor. It was pretty wild.
See, I went to Comic-Con when you could still buy tickets at the door.
Wow. Yeah.
I went to San Diego for something other than Comic-Con.
How dare you?
How dare I? Oh, hey, going back to the Dark Horse thing, you guys, Milk and Cheese is on there. If you've never read Evan Dorkin's Milk and Cheese, this Dairy Products Gone Bad story or book compilation, I should say, is just awesome. It's so funny.
The only issue I have with the compilation is like similar to reading comic strips sometimes. Like Milk and Cheese is definitely very much designed to be read like weekly.
Correct. Yeah.
Like you read too many of them in a row, and it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a strip. You need to take it in small chunks, you know.
Right. But finishing on the Godzilla versus San Diego, we've got the last story was from Dan Jurgens and Margot Pepoy. But what really made it cool is they call them Artist Alley pinups, but many of them were single page comics
Nice.
from Nicole Gu, Carla Wizgala, Dave Baker, Jared Callum, Gavin Smith, and Milena Dineno, Sean Galloway, Patrick Horvath, Travis Mercer, Gabby Ramirez, and Alfredo Cardona. So, like,
Jam-packed.
three multi-page comics that were cool, and then like eight pinups. But again, like most of the pinups were single page comics, not, probably separately, the Nicole Gu and Dave Baker stories. They did their own rather than working together. Might have been my favorite in the books.
Nice.
Though the Patrick Horvath was awfully good at, I mean, just the single page ones were just
For some
fantastic.
reason, I imagine that one being like Godzilla fighting a giant bear.
Let's see. Horvath, I think is this one. I don't think it was. I think it was. It's everything's loading. So the internet at this hotel is not great.
Sometimes, Tad,
So, so,
sometimes when
so
you're talking, you do lag slightly. I can see your mouth move, and then we hear you about 5 seconds later.
I believe
And
it.
then, but it's kind of funny. But
No,
your room looks pretty basic there. What are you doing
yeah.
on your road trip to Iowa?
Oh, we're just meeting with Kelly's sister and family.
Nice.
Is Kelly
Um,
there sleeping and you're just talking away?
yep,
Okay, okay,
because there wasn't a good place otherwise.
all
That's
right.
why I've been
Well, I
trying to
could,
be
I
quieter.
this is the first time I've saw movement behind you, so please
Right.
apologize to your wife. I am so
Anyway,
sorry.
anyway, Phil, take a walk.
So this week is my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. And she's also an awesome comics lover, so I figured I'd talk a little bit about some of the comics she's loved over the years. The first one being Sweet Tooth, where when she was helping me move into my college apartment, there was just issues. I think the volume one laying around, and she was just picked it up, started reading it, and absolutely loved it. And that started her love of Jeff Lemire. And then, believe it or not, it was really funny. She asked me once. She's like, "I read an article about. Have you heard of a book called Sex Criminals?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Mom, that book is hilarious. It's one of my absolute favorites coming out at the time." And I thought it was beyond hilarious that my mom asked me about it.
So
So
similar story, Phil.
yeah,
I had the Sex Criminals Omnibus or Complete Collection Edition, which
hmm
is it's a bright pink cover with the two of them running without pants on and Cash
yep,
coming behind them. So that was on my counter because I also
uh-huh.
was reading it when that omnibus came out. And my mom also was in the house and she just casually looks at it and she's like, Sex Criminals? What are you reading? Yeah, so it was funny. Um,
But she didn't read it. My mom actually read it.
no,
My mom
nope, my
actually
mom
read
did
Sex
not.
Criminals and found it hilarious and very much enjoyed
Nope,
it.
nope.
Um,
My mom
that's
had a look of disdain on her face.
right.
Tyler, sex? You're reading about sex?
They're saving a library. It's a worthy cause, damn it.
At the
And then
beginning, sure.
right. Well, yeah, yeah. And then the most recent one I've given her was Bad Karma, the action comedy about a couple of disabled vets going to right one of their wrongs from someone falsely incriminated by a murder they committed by Alex DeCampi, and I am blanking on the artist, but he was awesome. Um, I feel so bad for blanking on that artist.
You
But
have a
it,
computer in front of you.
I do. Yeah, but I can't talk and type at the same time, you know?
I've
Tad,
been
Um,
doing
Tad,
it all over the place.
Tad
you're
tries.
congratulate,
You're like, Tori,
you're
where did that Tad tries?
uh, uh,
I'm just kidding.
Ah,
I'm
Alex
kidding.
DeCampi
Ryan
and
Howe. Ryan Howe. There we go.
There you go.
Yep.
There, whew, whew, oh, almost couldn't live that
Oh
down.
man, guys,
Um,
that almost derailed the whole show.
it was
I
a bad
know,
one.
I
It was a
know,
real bad
I
one. We
know,
just
I know.
barely scrambled it.
Yeah.
But I basically decided, I'm like, I feel like Alex DeCampi is the next writer that I want to get my mom into comics wise. So that's where the bad karma comes into play.
Well,
Um,
I mean, Alex DeCampi is pretty awesome.
she is absolutely, and it's
I'm
like
I'm I'm
it's
a
it. Yeah.
big fan of her as a writer and a human being.
Oh yeah. She does seem like the kind of writer that you know, I'm struggling to think of not just that my mom would like, but that my mom probably hasn't. She doesn't have enough. Uh, what am I trying to say? She might read a lot and she reads a lot of mystery novels, but like she also enjoys a lot of literature. And so I feel like Alex is on that level of like, hey, this is like literarily really strong, not just like fun genre work. So that's what I was trying to get at. Tad, it looks like we're both becalmed in this week's One Piece
Yeah,
race. You
yeah.
know,
I was
that's okay.
becalmed this week. It was a busy
Yeah,
week.
it is.
I didn't manage to read any One Piece.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
that's too
we
bad
will
because
move into.
I did. So no, I'm
Did
kidding.
Bum
I'm
you?
bum
kidding. I'm
bum.
kidding. No.
He's
That
like
would have
That
been
he's
would
like
hilarious.
that would be
500
great.
chapters back. Like, hey, I picked
God.
it up again.
I would be so proud of you, Tyler.
I've been giving it a thought. I'm like, I gotta get back into that.
I'm still saying
Any,
you should do the stealth overtake. Just go on a
it's,
marathon.
and just not tell
Right.
you guys until I'm
Yeah,
past stuff with you
Yeah.
until you're
guys.
ahead of Tad. Ignite a fire in his belly.
So great responsibility this week. I thought since there's a fantastic Metal Hurlant bundle,
Yes.
um, we should explore it a little and tell, particularly because like I I know my Metal Hurlant pretty well because we have our heavy metal book club. But you guys, I didn't know how much you had experienced it, so I
I've
thought it
seen
would be fun to see what you thought.
I've seen the movie. That's about it.
Well, that's heavy metal.
Yeah.
And they're very tied, but
Hmm.
they're not quite the same.
Okay.
Um,
What is I don't know much about the either publication. I mean, I know what they are, but
Well,
well, I mean, they both tend to be adult, mostly sci-fi, some fantasy, um,
but are they tied together? Is what I'm asking.
mostly European.
they're both published
Yeah.
by
The,
Humanoids.
the way that well, no, they're not both published by Humanoids.
Oh.
Heavy Metal is its own company.
Oh.
The way they're tied together is particularly in the early years. Much of Heavy Metal was reprinting stories from Metal or Lant in the
Oh.
United States for the first time.
Oh. Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
because Metal Hurlant is a French comics magazine.
Yep.
Um, so like uh, Heavy Metal was the first time that a U.S. audience, or
I see.
really for a lot of them, where they were even translated into English, not always well.
Yeah.
Um, one of the things we've discovered is there's one story in particular that like a new translation done by New York Review Books recently made us take a story that I had not liked it. I mean, I guess the other people haven't read it, but I've shown them some samples.
Hmm.
But took a story that I hadn't liked when I read it in Heavy Metal,
Yeah.
and I like a lot with a better translation.
Oh,
Um,
that's incredible. Translation is a
so
huge factor.
right. Um, but yeah, so that's the tie between the two.
Okay.
Uh,
I didn't quite realize that it was that that length. So that's really interesting.
right.
Hmm.
Metal Hurlant actually translates to screaming metal.
Ooh, nice.
Does it?
Right. Um,
Okay.
so
Okay.
like even though it feels like, oh, it's the same title, it's not quite.
No.
Uh,
It's
Yeah.
an important distinction too.
but it was also it was the Metal Hurlant was actually founded by Fabrice Geiger and Mobius and um oh, I can't remember the other two guys, but like an absolute who's who of late 60s, early 70s bande dessinée artists. Like so the the craft is just on a different level and also um very different from a lot of US comics, particularly if you're used to superhero comics. Which is why like I was so happy to start the book club because like when we started the book club, it was something that I hadn't exposed. You know, I'd read The Inkle, I'd
Hmm.
read a handful of other humanoids titles, but I didn't have a lot of experience and to be able to work through anthology series to get this feeling for this other corner of comics was pretty fun. Um, Now what we're looking at here is actually probably one of the I mean, at least for me, I like everything I've read from the 60s, 70s, and early 80s
Hmm.
better than most of what I read here. And I also
Yeah.
like everything I've read in the new volumes
Oh, okay.
better than a lot of what I've read here. So this might represent kind of a lull in. And I'll be honest, and it's one of the reasons that I want you guys to go first. The other reason being
Okay.
that I'm more experienced. I didn't actually read every story in the one that like I started every one of them,
Uh-huh.
and if it didn't wind up grabbing me, I moved on because it's like I felt like I can speak to the overall concept, and B, I wanted to highlight the ones that felt like there was a purpose to me highlighting them. So like I didn't want it to be just the story that I picked out. I wanted it to be art. I wanted it to be something special. Um,
Absolutely. I mean, I had a similar-ish react. Well, I had a similar strategy to reading where I went through just reading through the art, like not reading the bubbles, but looking at the art styles. And honestly, like a lot of the coloring was very like gray and brown, you know, like it looked like early 2000s attempt at photorealistic. And yeah, it wasn't all my cup of tea, but I did find actually three stories in a row that
right,
this is the thing that I thought was really interesting is that once so it's like they put the American comics people up front, the ones that anyone just opening and flipping through might be like, oh, I know this name. Oh, I know this name. And then like as you get into it, that's where you get the more European styles. And honestly, anytime someone was coloring themselves, it looked way stronger than when they brought in a colorist. So, or generally
right.
speaking. So the first one up for me was Spare Parts by Stuart Moore, Coley Hamner, and Clements,
Stuart
which
Moore has been on 22 panels.
yep, yep. Who's head of Ahoy Comics now?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. I think he actually follows me on Blue Sky for some reason.
He
Which
follows me.
yeah, he seems like a good guy.
He
For that
is.
alone. But it was a really interesting story about a dictator who comes to power and a man who becomes his body double and the kind of using that framework as a look into Middle Eastern um, dictator politics, and it was a really interesting story. Just again, it was one of those things where because I had the similar thought going through, where I'm like, okay, what makes this Metal or not? Like, what sets this apart from any other type of comic? And like, I think really just this range of going from a political story like that to next Overdose by Jim McDonald and Dee Pie, which was a weird, trippy story about junkies who one of them starts astral projecting while intoxicated and having sex, and it just kind of, the art really sucked me in there and looked absolutely incredible. And the story kind of ends on a, okay, wait, what? Not in a like a big twist sort of way, but just kind of like an huh sort of way. Um, which was interesting. And then of course, the one after that was The Photo Taker by Guy Davis and Jerry Frizen. And
That one was
oh,
seriously fun.
oh
Mm.
yes, I love Guy Davis so much. I have missed his art in my reading. Like every single panel. eh, I could gush about Guy Davis, just the fact that he's a self-taught cartoonist that is like absolutely perfect. Like there's nothing he can't draw. The silent storytelling he does is so strong of just like looks, these fully rendered environments. And it was basically a two-tone where it was just blue, white, and his lines. And I think other shades of blue as kind of an offset. And it's just, yeah. Um, if there's only one story to read, that one was my absolute favorite flipping through.
I also read a Guy Davis one, but I'll get to that in a second. The first one that I really liked was the first one
Well,
in the
really quick question for you,
yeah,
Tyler.
yeah.
You seem to have read a different volume than we did. Do you, because I didn't recognize all of the stories that you put up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder here.
Which volume did you open up and read?
Let's see. I had it on my phone. I don't know.
Same here.
What's that?
Same here. I also read them on my phone, but but it they went pretty well. Like that's the thing is the when the Guy Davis art jumps off my phone and it's still phenomenal. It's like, oh, I mean, and that's where like I'm glad that he's working as a concept artist with Guillermo del Toro. I'm glad he has a good position where he's able to do stuff, but like, man, I miss his comics.
Yeah, I'm looking at yours now, Ted. I did read something else that I had found. I'm sorry. I thought there was just one thing.
Not all Metal Hurlant is made the same.
No, I never mind. Okay. Well, I read other Metal Hurlant stories.
No, I'm just trying to figure out where they were from
I
because we
mean,
should
I'll,
we should plug them.
well,
I will get that information as soon as I'm done talking here. But The Hunter's
Eh.
Moon was the first one in that series by Kurt Busiek, and I picked that one because I love um the Kurt Busiek Astro City.
mhm.
And so what I found about that I really liked was that this was like uh provides like a haunting. It's very atmospheric in this story, science fiction kind of story uh, about survival and things like that. And it came with the art by Gerald Perel, which I'm not familiar. Obviously, a French artist, but his art was hyper detailed, you guys. So it worked perfectly with Busiek's storytelling.
I did like the art of that one. That one was really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And so that one was in the thing that you guys read, right?
yeah, yeah, that was just the second story for us.
It was the
Yeah.
first one in the thing I read. Okay. Well, and then I also the second one in the one that I was reading is The Zombies That Ate the World. So that was by Jerry Frizen and again Guy Davis. So when you talk about Guy Davis's artwork, and you talk about for me, he
Hmm.
looked oh man, what's the word? Like you talk he was self-taught.
Hmm.
Okay, this is not a knock on Guy, but it shows that he was self-taught
Yeah,
because of the way he chooses to do things. And so,
it's
like when you're a really good artist, you know what rules you can break to create your own style.
yeah,
With Guy, I feel like he never learned the rules, and we've all just accepted, like, oh, that's just his style. It's
And
not
like
good, but
I, I disagree. See, I mean, as far as goodness, like it's one of those things where like,
I
yeah,
will. Here's
he's
what I.
he's not. Well, I think you're absolutely right in that he's not like from that I agree that his work does look self-taught in the sense that like okay he clearly came at it from a different angle than most people who learn anatomy and cartooning and stuff but
Yeah,
like the crunchiness is part of what I love about it like it's got so much character and charisma in his line work that because there's other I mean like this
is he
that would
doing
be
a?
like
Is there a new series that he's doing, like
I don't
Ash and
know.
something on Keen Spot?
Oh man, I haven't heard of that. I'm not aware. Um,
Uh, yeah. But
you know,
anyway,
imagine if I said
uh,
Jeff Lemire has a not good art style, you know?
Jeff Lemire though is. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I am the same way about guys who are like, "Oh, I'm an awesome musician, but I never learned how to read." I'm like,
yeah.
"Well, then you're not an awesome musician. You're pretty good."
Yeah.
I find it to be. I find I'm not saying everyone needs to be trained,
Hmm.
um, but I feel like we don't. And I don't mean this about Guy. I just mean this in
Hmm. Hmm.
general. I'm not a fan of celebrating people who not necessarily learn on their own, but then have this chip on their shoulder that like they're so good they don't even know how to do blah 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 and look what they could do.
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, but what do you think they could do if they learned the proper techniques?
I think I definitely agree that uh, ignorance shouldn't be celebrated, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
the way I'm
And
not
and I
trying to say
think
Guy
that
is bad.
right, right. I agree with you that I think people who are like, I can only read guitar tabs, I can't read sheet music, like, yeah, that's a little bit ignorant, you know? And
Yeah,
maybe you shouldn't brag about that. But like there's a huge difference between that and like self-teaching, and like learning from doing and those sorts of stuff, Like I think that people who find their own way into an art form, like there's a difference between, oh, I did what I could and like, oh, I am actively shunning an aspect of the work, Like
yeah,
it's a bit different. But
yep,
I see what you're saying.
yeah. But you're right though. Jeff Lemire also has a loose style.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, the third one that I picked was in in what I wrote. It was number 6 in the lineup.
Uh-huh.
Who's Dreaming Now? This was Alejandro Jodorowsky from the Inkle, and then art with Jerome Pena.
Hell yeah.
It's really psychological, short little piece that
I mean,
really.
this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to figure out what you read because
I want to read that story.
Yeah, I will send it to you guys. I'm not
like
finding the thing on my
I
phone. I
don't
must have
know
written it
that
on my
story,
iPad.
and I love Jodorowsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right,
I'll send it. I'll send you what I read. Um, Sometimes when I'm doing things like spur of the moment, like last night, like trying to
right.
fit in my reading while I'm working. I'm sorry, it's like not the right one, but they're good stories. They were really good.
Yeah.
This was exploring
Well, and
Jodorowsky,
that's
like
okay because the overall idea was to just talk
yeah,
about Metal Hurlant. I mean, the
yeah,
downside being that I think that this story might not be in the Humble Bundle, but that's
it,
not reason not to get the Humble Bundle.
Right.
correct. It's probably not because I went off on my own path, but
All right.
this was a very dark psychological short piece that like it's mind bending, you know what I mean? And it explores his normal trademark of like psychological consciousness shifting identity, that kind of crap. I shouldn't
Hmm.
call it crap, but that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
and I find it really exciting. And then of course I love Jerome's artwork all the way back from like X-Force stuff. Being an X-Force fan, and an X-Men. So yeah, I loved it, and I am gonna go back and read that version of Metal Hurlant that you sent us, Ted.
Well, So I think I would guess that because there was also a Jerome Pena story in the volume we read. So I would guess that maybe that was before X-Force because X-Force came out in like the
It was.
2010s, like late 2009,
Yes.
2010. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was. It was. Yeah,
nice.
but I have never read any of this stuff. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is where
anywho,
Opena did
Man,
sorry, you go ahead, Ted.
no, that's cool. I will quickly photo taker you already talked about. I liked the humor of that. The one that I really liked the humor of, and I'm surprised. I guess like I'm less surprised now that I discovered that Tyler didn't read it. Shame on You by Francois Bouc. Um,
I liked that one.
seems like overall it seems like a very very down to earth, like
Hmm.
following the paths of a couple old people just walking through their days. But then it finishes with the joke of
Yeah.
following their paths and that their paths created dirty drawings.
Right.
Um,
Oh my gosh.
uh, and that was just fun. Photo taker, like I said, you talked about. I picked out King's Crown not because King's Crown in and of itself was great. Um, I mean, I thought it was very good, but
Hmm.
Richard Corbin and his fantastic painted art
Oh yeah.
has been a major feature of Metal Hurlant and heavy metal.
He's so
Um,
good. The late
so
great
so
Richard
I
Corbin.
wanted to pick I wanted to pick Adam Corbin.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I still think for next week you guys should pick a volume that's not Metal Hurlant.
Hmm.
Um, And or I mean, we can do it one of two ways. You guys can pick a volume that we can all read and talk about, or all three of us can pick a single volume um, from the heavy metal humble bundle and talk about it individually. Either way, but I wanna spend another week highlighting um, this humble bundle just because it's such a good one. Um, and I feel like the comics and manga crowd don't cross over nearly enough, but the comics and bande dessinée crowd really don't cross over enough.
Mm.
So I think it would be great to explore some more of this while it's available at a low price. And again, like I'm hoping that since this says Universes Unbound Part One, that that will mean that um we're
guys, Raina's
actually
waving at you.
getting
She wants to say good
hi,
morning.
Raina,
Good morning.
that we'll actually be getting more of these in short order, which would be really great. Um, so we'll see. But and maybe you guys will get so hooked that you'll start coming to Heavy Metal Book Club.
I carry it in the store,
Do you?
in my store. I
Do you
should. I
Nice.
do
carry
read it.
just the heavy metal or the metal Hurlant as well? Because metal Hurlant is coming out in single, big, thick, 250 page issues
Oh,
again.
no,
Um,
no, I've just been getting the current heavy metal issues that have been coming out.
the current heavy metal is very good. Right now, I think I lean just slightly towards Metal Hurlant is putting out the better stuff right now. They both rebooted this year after going
Yep.
through financial difficulties.
Okay. Well, I
Um,
will get Metal Hurlant on my
yeah.
order as well. I'm putting in my stuff for as
Yeah,
we're talking
I
on
don't
the on the
know. I don't know if it's available through any of the easy
Oh,
distributors, or whether you're gonna
I
have to figure
know.
that out.
It's probably
But
from France, right? Or where's it?
but
Yeah.
no,
I think so.
it's a US version. It's a US
It
version.
is. Okay. Okay, okay.
I mean, I have a personal subscription. Yeah.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah. You could always
Anyway,
you could always buy the Humble Bundle and print out
Buy the Humble
volumes
Bundle.
yourself.
Don't do like me and go looking for your own version.
All right. Three books I hope will be spectacular. Despite the fact that it's a fifth week and a light week next week, there's some really good stuff. Is Ted okay? Number 6, wrapping up the series from Dave Chisholm at Mad Cave. Kind of a sleeper pick. I really enjoyed the Eye Collector #1 and the second issue from Jonathan Ball, GM and GMB. Comichuck comes out from Image next week. And then Nano #1 from Matt Kent and Natasha Bustos at Dark Horse. Phil,
I'm looking
what
at
is your
my lunar receipt right here, Tad, and I have got Eye Collector #2 highlighted that as a must read. So
Nice.
there you go.
Yeah.
Phil, what's your giant size trade waiter graphic novel pick?
That's going to be Event Horizon Dark Descent from Christian Ward and Tristan Jones over at IDW.
incorrect. Pick a different one.
What?
I'm just
I mean, I've been wrong before, so
I'm like, no, wrong. Pick a different one.
Well,
I
actually, your pick from last week doesn't come out until this week. So, I mean,
you son of a bee sting. What am I
What was
doing?
it? What was it? I was gone.
What was my pick? I don't fully
Our
remember.
Soot-Stained Heart.
Oh, our Soot-Stained Heart.
Our
Dang.
Soot-Stained Heart
I
comes out
need
this
to
week.
stop using League of Comic Geeks. They are leading me astray way too often.
You and I both. Well, I do that
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. But yes, this is
The later in the month,
uh-huh.
You get, and the more graphic and more with graphic novels than single issues, like because League of Comic Geeks is user supported.
Yeah.
Like often what gets put up is whatever's in the catalog.
Yeah.
So if a release date changes, it doesn't necessarily get updated. Certainly not before the book comes out.
Just need to cross-reference it with stuff, I guess. I don't know. But this is, I don't remember.
Cross-referencing is good.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's the first or second series of Event Horizon comics from Christian Ward. But for those who don't know, Event Horizon was a sci-fi horror movie from, I want to say, the late 90s. I definitely saw it, and it was crazy. It's actually like really, it's like half the basis of the comic Nameless from Grant Morrison and Chris Burnham. That one's like a more, like they increase the psychological aspects, but it's also like space horror, crazy stuff. So yeah, so it's a good one.
All righty.
Awesome.
Tyler, that's your cue.
Oh, I know. I'm looking at, guys, I got these really cute Hello Kitty Wolverine Deadpool stickers. And I'm trying to decide if I should do a wraparound on my Deadpool Wolverine motif already.
I mean, you got to put at least a few on.
See.
You know, you gotta, they're on theme, so you got to put them on.
Or just make a new water bottle. Have 2 water bottles.
You got to have a Wolverine water bottle and a Deadpool water bottle.
Well, one of them can be for cold and one of them can be for hot.
What do you guys use for water bottles? I'm on a Walla. I love this thing.
No, I have a thermos that I use overused, really.
Are you anti-water?
No, I love water. I mostly drink water.
Just kidding. All right, guys. This has been fun. I like just messing with us and going off on a really stupid tangent. It's been fun. This is 22 panels. What episode is this, Ted? Let's look.
This is episode number 246, and I want to say 904 overall.
904, I think. Yep, total.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you hit 1,000, what should we do?
He's got plans already.
I don't know.
You have plans?
Do I?
You mentioned that you had one that you were hoping you could get to being 1,000 by the time it happens.
Well, I said it would be cool to hit 1,000 for like the 5th anniversary, but if not the 5th anniversary, it'd be kind of cool if it was the baseball roundtable.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I guess those are plans
We'll
to
hit by
1,000, not after 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We'll figure it out.
After 1,000, we reboot.
Something will happen.
22 panels extreme.
No.
22 panels after dark. That would be kind of fun.
We already do 22 panels after dark.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Tad's got to shut up so his wife can go back to sleep. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you guys after the next page. See ya.